Hi Javier, thank you for joining. I realize it must be pretty late for you. If my time zone autism is correct, then it must be midnight there, 11:45, right?
Exactly 11:45.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. Yeah, when I used to stream, I would ask people what time it is and guess where they are, and I was really good at it.
yeah. I've got a lasagna in the oven right now, so I'm gonna have to leave like for a quick second, like 2 minutes into the meeting. But
It's
it'll
okay.
just be a quick second.
You got a lasagna in the oven. I don't even have my gavel. We're gonna cross these bridges as we reach them.
Man, if we don't meet quorum tonight, I'm gonna be upset. I will be very upset.
I definitely think we have a good chance of meeting quorum. That's why we moved
I
it.
don't know. Uh,
Almost everybody who filled out the when to meet said that they're available at this time. So if they're not, I'm going to be upset too.
but yeah, it is how it is.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's everything going?
It's pretty good. Final exams are next week for me, and then just like research papers. But research paper is nothing. Like it's so easy.
Real.
Um, Girlfriend's visiting at the end of the month, and then she'll be here until I
Oh,
go back to
sweet.
America. So it's you know nice break before I have to go back to Oakland.
Yeah, nice. Javier, can you tell me, are you getting any echo? Because I don't have headphones right now.
I'm not getting not any echo. Uh, some slight lag, but that's just on the fact that I'm across the ocean.
Right. Um, so I'm not sure exactly when we're going to start, but I'm going to need somebody to motion for the agenda to be fixed, for the old business to be moved to old business. Um,
Ah, gotcha.
So if no, if you're around and nobody else motions, please motion.
Yeah, if I'm not grabbing my lasagna, I'll motion.
Sick. I appreciate it.
You said for
Did,
the
did
the
you
old
did you
business
see
to
the
be
agenda?
moved to old business.
Yeah.
I glanced at it briefly.
Yeah, any questions?
Well, it looks pretty all right.
All right.
We formatting, approval for finance, approval for student advocacy. Hmm. Oh, is it that you need the minutes to old business?
Not the minutes, but everything that we went over at the last meeting. So that's items B, C, and D.
All right.
Also item E, but that doesn't matter. It's only mostly it's just item D needs to be updated because it we had the first reading already, so that is a material change. The rest of them are not technically new business. B, C, and E are not technically new business, but it makes no real difference. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Um, so do you want me to just do B, C, and D, or do you also want um E?
So if you remember, I would love for you to do B, C, D, E, but the only thing that
All
actually
right.
matters is D.
Well, I have all four written down, so yeah,
Sweet.
it's fine.
Oh, I wish everybody would take notes at GBM.
And it would make life a whole lot easier.
Yeah, no kidding.
Did you guys ever figure out that problem Vincenzo had?
Not exactly. Vince is 100% on that swipe access list. And the swipe access that everybody has is 24/7 at the door anyway. The building, of course, is not open 24/7, but theoretically, if you were doing an Oakland Center sleepover, you could open the door at any time. You could open the door at 3 a.m. Anybody can. They don't restrict it by hour. Um, I think it's just a problem with Vince's code. Or else it might be a problem with the mag strip on his ID, in which case it has to be replaced for like
Okay.
10 or $15. And that sucks. Um, but Vince is gonna need that for other stuff. I mean, Vince can't get a meal or get into a dorm building with a
Yeah,
broken
well,
mag
Vince doesn't
strip.
live
So
on
I hope
campus.
it's all right. I hope he just got the code wrong. Director Vela, how's it going?
It's going okay. I just sent my whole schedule to get the meetings done today. So for the
It's really
minutes,
not that urgent. If the
I
minutes
kind of
wait
did
for
it on
two meetings,
accident.
it's not a big deal.
I did it on accident, so it's okay.
Okay. Well, so yeah, Vela, if you want your 618 meeting minutes, then you just need to motion to amend the agenda.
Oh yeah, I see they're on there. I commented them in.
They are not officially on there.
Really?
Unless Asia approved that, but I don't know anything about that. I think I might have approved it on accident, but that's not official.
Okay, well we can ask Asia when the meeting starts.
Oh, right, right.
All right, I'm gonna be unavailable for like 10 minutes driving, but yeah.
That's okay. Guys, can we hold on a few minutes? I have to run down to campus and get my gavel. I'll be back in like 40 minutes, but we cannot call to order without the gavel. What am I gonna do? Say bang bang?
You should get the the old like Among Us call to meeting sounds.
Javier, stop talking. We are not using Among Us sounds in the Congress. That's not happening.
Yeah, I bet you that would like have some people's ears perking up to like snap back into it though.
You see everybody glance at their second monitor.
Yeah.
I forgot what shirt I'm wearing. I'll be right back. I can't put this in official records. Yeah, let's pray for this quorum, Javier.
I'm definitely praying. Autumn, I'm not gonna lie. If we don't meet quorum and we still like go through the entire agenda and it takes like over an hour, I might just like go to sleep. 'Cause I have a class at 8 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm not gonna check. After roll call, I'm not gonna ask any direct questions of anybody, and everybody's getting paid if they can.
If we meet quorum, I'll be here for the whole thing. But if we don't, then like an hour or an hour and a half is my limit.
Okay, yeah, that's understandable. I don't like that we have to ask you to volunteer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it either, but it's cool.
Yeah, same thing happened to Nia, I hear.
Last year,
I don't know. Whenever Nia was in South Korea.
I think it was last summer. Yeah, it's tragic, but man, the heat
Guys,
waves
you will not
melted like
believe what
all.
happened to my boyfriend today.
Yeah,
Eli was
what's
on
the
Silver
news?
Bell Road. I don't know if y'all know Silver Bell Road, but somebody pulled out right in front of them and they got in a car accident.
I don't know. Ah, jeez.
Which happens all the time on Silver Bell. It's so bad.
Is that the
The
one on
the
the hill?
the left turn from Giddings onto Silver Bell is it's not blind, but it's not very safe. Hi DJ, thank you for being here.
Hey,
The president is a little held up, and we absolutely cannot start without the president. Because of the line of succession, I would have to be the president, and then actually Chair Mays would have to run the meeting. I mean, I'm not going to make her do that without any training or notice. Um, so apart from attendance, which I would love to have better attendance than two. Sorry, Vela, you can't vote. But aside from attendance, we literally are not able to start the meeting without President Black. So it's gonna be just a few minutes. So thank you everybody for bearing with us. I understand. GBMs have been a little bit slow starting this summer. Hi Asia, I hope everything's well with you.
Hello. Just let me know if anything is still wonky with the agenda today.
But yeah, while we've got you here, was it you who approved the addition of these minutes, or did I do that on accident?
I did that just
Okay,
now.
sick. Also, would you approve for us to move new business items B, C, D, and E to old meeting that
I,
had no quorum, but that technically makes them old business? Would you approve that?
I think my screen kind of froze.
So these items, these highlighted items, B, C, D, and E, um, so although we didn't have any quorum at that meeting, it is still old business technically. So would you approve for us to move those? Wow, everybody's here. This is awesome.
I was just going to say, well, by the way, I'm here, which means you don't need to be the president. And
Sick.
it's it's not even six yet, and we're, I believe, unless my count is off, at or over half quorum, which is fantastic.
It is five. We have five voting members right now, which is awesome.
I'll
And yeah, th
keep.
thank you everybody for being here. It's awesome to have so many people here. And I'm really glad that the new meeting time at least appears to be more accessible and more suitable for so many of us. Um, I do think we're gonna hold off for just a few minutes for hopefully a little bit more attendance. Um, so thank you everybody for bearing with us, and I hope everybody is well. Um, AI Meeting Notes wants to join, but we have Director Vela for that, so I'm not gonna let them.
Do you think we can make a note or announcement in the Slack too?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do that. Um, oh, I closed the Slack. Okay, I'll do it from my phone for just to make it go a little smoother. So I believe that's six, um, which is awesome. We are not going to have Speaker Fetete today because they are working. Um, but I do believe that we'll have plenty of people if we just give it a couple of minutes.
Did somebody say minutes?
What? Who said that? All right. Hi Tuba. Welcome. Okay, let me take another quick count. Um, we've got one, two, three, four, five, six. Hi, Emily. I hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah, I'm doing really well. How's your summer?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty busy, you know.
Yeah, my summer's been busy too. I've been working around my yard. I just got everything planted a few days ago.
Nice. What have you been planning?
Herbs, flowers, vegetables. Yeah, it's a good thing I got everything planted because we got a big heat wave right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's almost too late to be planning stuff. I hear the farm that Director Heeman volunteers at is having a similar issues.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's got to be hard work planning in this weather. I can hardly
Yeah,
sit in the office and write emails.
I know. How's the Oakland Center been lately?
It's really not too bad, especially in the basement. It's pretty nice. Um, but leaving the building and going to my hot car at the end of the day is pretty rough.
Oh, I know yeah, it can't be easy.
Could be a lot worse.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Heritage Site event that's coming up.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I think that will be great.
Right, I gotta get my laptop charger. But I promise I can still hear everybody. I'll just be right back.
So, how is everyone's summer?
It's going very well so far.
I'm managing. I'm on an off week where I'm not close to campus right now, and I'm kind of feeling that I wish I was closer to many of you guys, but I'm hanging in there.
I got an internship, so my schedule no longer worked for the old GVMs. Oopsie. Yeah, I just got off work. Let's go.
Nice, how was it?
Oh, I'm working at a township office, so I do a lot of stuff, like in every department. So I'm tired, but I'm here.
Yeah, that's real. Um, do they pay you at this internship?
What'd you say?
Do they pay you at this internship or no?
Ah, yes. Yes, I'm too broke for that.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, my summer is chugging right along. It feels very short. It'll be 3 weeks of this office, or I'm sorry, it'll be 3 months of this office in a week, which is crazy. It sure doesn't feel like it. All right, we got Director Tawari here. Thank you for being here. Everything going well?
Hello, everyone.
Oh, we got Legislator Reyes. Awesome. Oh, Angel, your poor knee. I hope you're okay. Okay, I'm gonna count one more time. We got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. The AC at my folks' place has been busted for a little while. It just got fixed. Ah, I wasn't here yesterday. Must have been 2 days ago. I'm so glad. Yeah, my room is upstairs, so it was so hot and humid.
The AC in my car is making this nasty noise, and if I roll the windows up, I can't hear it, so I'm going to ignore it.
Um, that's reassuring. What kind of noise? Like a hiss?
Um, More like angry jittering coming from inside the engine bay.
Hmm.
Only when the AC is on.
My car
Yeah.
did that before. It stopped on the highway. Just joking. I mean, kind of, not really. It happened like years before that. You should check that out.
Yeah, I did get it
Yeah.
checked out before. I'm just gonna pray it doesn't break during the heat wave and just not use it.
My car's AC decided to stop working right when the heat wave hit, so I'm getting that fixed on Tuesday.
What
I
is with
haven't used my
everybody's
car's
AC?
AC since I was 16.
Oh,
Yeah, well, I think the problem is that the little goblin in your engine who does the AC magic is angry with you and is a jealous and vindictive creature. So you should definitely be careful.
that's true.
Fun
My
fact.
goblin quit, so I need him to come back.
Fun fact. I think I found out something. So I don't use my car's AC or the heat, so I just suffer. But I realized I turned on the AC for the first time today since basically I was 16 and I got the car. And I realized that the driver's side was warm and the passenger side was cold. And in the wintertime, it's the opposite problem. So maybe there's something wrong with the driver's side and it goes the opposite way. I don't know. Help.
It's really strange. I'm struggling to understand this from like a fluid dynamics perspective. I truly don't understand how that could be the case. Car stuff is a little beyond me, to be honest. Yeah, I was having transmission problems, which is never good. But I just recently got my car back and I really missed her. The other cars I were driving were substantially nicer, but they're not mine. I missed her sentimentally.
That's how I feel about my car whenever she breaks down. Everything I drive is nicer, but it's not my car.
Yeah. All right. So at about 15 past the hour, we have 7 voting members here. Um, we have just about a complete executive board, which is awesome. Um, but that's not a quorum. Um, so if anybody wants to start the meeting, feel free to speak up. I'm not going to impose that on us at this time. But if we're all in agreement, then I wouldn't fight it either.
So we won't be able to vote till we meet quorum, correct?
Right, we can only motion. Um, so I mean, for example, we could go over the minutes. And we could have plenty of discussion and announcements. I mean, I have a somewhat substantial VP report to make. But I mean, that's correct. We wouldn't be able to vote on these approvals or on the legislation. However, I'm not going to hold everybody hostage here and refuse to start the meeting. Not if everybody wants to. So if anybody has an opinion on this, feel free to speak up.
I would say we've got no new legislation. Everything, from what I can tell, is second readings, or some of these are third or fourth readings at this point, and approvals. And, we've, on my provost advisory bill, we've, I think, exhausted discussion on that, unless anyone has new opinions. It's been unchanged. The formatting bill is big and significant, but as of right now, we can't really vote on that. And then the approvals, of course, we would also have to wait on. So I'm not quite sure what the right course of action is. I guess it would depend on how likely we are to get 3 more people in a reasonable amount of time.
Well, if we look, let me pull up the when to meet, which I realize is a little bit old. I will say right now, if anybody's availability has changed, then you can edit the when to meet, and that would be awesome. Because we just want to meet at the time that is most effective. There's nothing special to me about Thursday evenings except that most people selected that they're available here. Um, so if we look, the people that we're missing right now, um, we could get Wesley, Moeller, Knatha. Um, and that would be 3. Um, we could also get Bill. And Bill is unavailable at this time, so probably not. Asia, if you have something to say, you can go ahead.
I would also keep in mind, because I didn't keep this in mind a few years ago, some little mistake I made. It is the fourth week so some people may be out already.
What do you mean by the fourth week?
July, 4th of July. Some people might already
Oh,
be
I
out and
see.
stuff.
Yeah,
Because I
that's a good
tried to do
point. That's
something
totally
similar a
possible.
few years ago, and yeah, the date kind of messed everything up because people leave early. So
Okay. Um, so I mean, would we like to take an informal vote right now? I'll quickly go over everybody who is not here at the moment. So the speaker absolutely will not be here. They are at work. Bill has marked himself unavailable at this time. Drzwicki cannot be paid, and to my understanding, does not intend to come to meetings until they can be paid. Um, Howell is extremely busy, and I don't think is available for any meetings during the summer. Knatha, similar situation, but does intend to be involved, expressed to me intent to be involved in whatever way is possible, and is marked available on the when to meet. Um, Martino, I'm if there's I don't know any reason that Martino wouldn't be here. But I don't know any reason that he would be here either. He's not on the when to meet. Um, Mueller is marked available at this time. Um, Norden, similar situation to Howell, extremely busy, generally not available during the summer. Um, Raymond, I have not heard very much from, so I really can't say. Um, Wesley and Wolf are both, uh, I'm sorry, Wesley is marked available and Wolf is not. So that's like 3.5 people that we might well get, but we have no indication, no recent indication anyway. Um, so what would everybody like to do? Would we like to take an informal vote on starting or not starting the meeting at this time?
Maybe we should reschedule the meeting to next week because it sounds like a lot of people are out for the holiday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a little bit deja vu. I mean, it feels like a lot of people are just not available, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I know.
I understand it's very difficult in the summer with work and with moving and with family and such things. But God forbid you're taking summer classes. I totally get it, but it is a real shame.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with a different meeting time, when, but I don't, because if we're reading the same stuff and if no one's going to show up, if we're not going to be able to vote, maybe we should just reschedule it, to when we can vote.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Um, I do want to say that we can approve the minutes. Like we can conduct our business regarding the minutes completely normally. And I also think there's a fair amount of discussion to have, if not the particular Senate appointments, then about Senate appointments in general and who would be interested in different Senate appointments. Um, but other than that, there's not much new information here. I agree. Um, Chair Mays, you can go ahead.
I would say, like, if you want to do your vice president report, I mean, I don't mind hearing that, but there's not much else we can do in this meeting. So I feel like we should, whatever we can do, we should probably get on with it at this point.
Okay. Yeah. So anybody who wants to wait at this time for better attendance, please raise your hand. So we got one. Anybody else?
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat what you just said, Autumn? Because I don't know why the voice was breaking.
I'm sorry, I think that's just my internet connection. But if anybody would like to wait and start the meeting a little bit later so that we can hopefully have more people attending, if that's what you want to do, then please raise your hand. All right, so it looks like we have three, um, which is just under a majority of voting members and well under a majority of all of us. So I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Um, I don't have to gavel. Bang, bang. This meeting is called to order at 6:26 p.m. So first, we have our roll call. Speaker Ferretete is absent. Majority Leader Perez.
Present.
Steering Chair Mays.
Present.
Commuter Support Chair Lunger.
Present.
Legislator Bill is absent. Ruzwicki is absent. Howell is absent. Kneta is absent. Martino is absent. Mueller is absent. Norden is absent. Legislator Obra.
Present.
All right. Legislator Reyes.
Present.
Legislator Raymond is absent. Legislator Rosario.
Present.
Legislator Wesley is absent. Legislator Williams.
Present.
All right. So that is 7 present and 11 absent, which is not a quorum. So there's no quorum. Next, we have the land acknowledgement. Oakland University resides on the ancestral, traditional, and contemporary lands of the Anishinaabe, known as the Three Fires Confederacy, comprised of the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi. The land was ceded in the 1807 Treaty of Detroit and makes up southeast Michigan. In recognizing the history and respecting the sovereignty of Michigan's Indian nations, Oakland University honors the heritage of indigenous communities and their significant role in shaping the course of this region. Further, we recognize the wrongs done to those forcibly removed from their homelands and commit to fostering an environment of inclusion that is responsive to the needs of First Peoples through our words, policies, and actions. The preservation and perpetuation of customs and traditions of indigenous nations are essential to our shared cultural heritage. A deep understanding of Native peoples past and present informs the teaching, research, and community engagement of the university in its ongoing effort to elevate the dignity of all people and serve as shared stewards of the land. And that concludes the land acknowledgement. Next, we have approval of the agenda. So all of these items are on here for discussion. And if anybody would like to remove or table an item, now is the time. Otherwise, we need a motion to approve the agenda.
I motion to approve the agenda.
All right, moved by Legislator Obra,
Oh, I second it.
seconded by Legislator Williams. Any opposition? All right, hearing none, that motion carries, and the agenda is approved as written. We have no guest speaker. Next is announcements. Are there any announcements?
I have an announcement. You guys probably know not to work on Saturday, but please do not work tomorrow either. It is a bank holiday, the 4th, that runs through the whole weekend, beginning Friday. We are not allowed to work, so please keep that in mind.
Yes, I will also take this opportunity to announce that just for 100% clarity, anybody who would be able to work on Sunday, which is not most of us, you can't work on Sunday either. After midnight, you cannot work until Monday. And Jen from payroll has worked with us to make sure that everybody will be paid for this meeting if they're eligible to be paid at all. But because we're having this so late and so close to the holiday, Jen is not allowed to work on the weekend either. And we have to make sure that whatever hours we submit are accurate. So after this meeting, Um, of course, we'll be able to verify it easily, but we need you to notify us of the start time, the end time, and the remote nature of your work. Um, and if we miss it, then there's not really anything that we'll be able to do. So I just wanted everybody to know. Um, does that make sense? All right. Hearing no questions, are there any further announcements? Okay. So we'll move on to new business. The first item of new business is the minutes from previous meetings. I've got them pulled up right here. Um, if anybody said anything important during these meetings, then uh, I hope that you checked them or that you're checking them right now. Um,
Hi, can I put on
and
my DIA hat?
yeah, go ahead.
So I appreciate we can't vote on this meeting because I would also like a bit more time to proofread the 618 minutes. But I'd just like to ask you and the president to look over your reports, make sure those are all above board. And the two appointees, Anusha Tiwari and Kamari Karel, if you guys want to go through there, look at your statements from your appointments, that would also be cool. Just let me know if there's anything that needs to be reworded or changed. But that's it.
For what it's worth, I read through each set of minutes and thought that everything I said was represented perfectly well.
Yay.
Yeah, so I will say as a point of information, we are able, because minutes aren't done by a vote, minutes are just uh, approved by motion. We absolutely could approve them at this time. And if you want to have a little bit more time, that's totally allowed. You would just have to motion to remove these 618 minutes from the agenda, or oppose the motion to approve them, in which case that motion will go to a vote of the present voting members.
Are we voting on content without quorum?
There's no vote, unless you need to vote to decide a motion that somebody opposes. And there's no quorum for a motion. A motion can carry with three people. I mean, a motion could probably carry with two people. I'm not that deep into Robert's rules, but I know that we don't need 10.
Um, I think I know we don't have the parliamentarian here. I think it would be a substantive thing to do to approve minutes, but I also know that like the 6-4 ones at least are pretty chill. So if somebody just wants the motion to approve the 6-4 minutes, and we can leave the 518 the 618 to the next meeting, that would probably be cool.
Okay, yeah. So Director Velo, point of information, you are allowed to make a motion if you wish.
All right, that's sweet. I'll motion to postpone the 618 minutes indefinitely.
Okay, moved by Director Vela.
Second.
I'm so sorry. I don't know who that was. I need to know.
It was me, Asia.
All right, I thought so. So moved by Director Vela, supported by Chair Mays. Um, so the 618 minutes are postponed indefinitely. Uh, does anybody have a motion regarding the 6-4 minutes?
Motion to approve the 6-4 minutes.
Moved by Director Vela,
Second.
supported by Legislator Obra, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So the 6-4 minutes are approved. Again, I don't have the gavel. Bang, bang.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Next on the agenda is the approval of Speaker Faetete for University Senate General Body, presented by President Black.
Hello. We cannot vote on this today, but You guys interact with Val in most every general body meeting. Excuse me, many of you have participated in legislative meetings with them and were offered only a couple proper seats on the University Senate itself. There are many committees on which students can serve and participate and weigh in. But in terms of being voting members of the Senate who decide policies and resolutions and things of that nature, we only get a couple spots. And Autumn and I did feel that it would be a good choice to use one of those on Val, given their prior experience with University Senate, given their engagement with university governance as a member of CDEC going back a while, and their general qualifications and experience. If they were there to speak for themselves, I would yield to them, but they're not, so I can field or defer any questions.
Yeah, the floor is open to any questions. And I've pulled up the list of available committee seats just for the sake of discussion. Chair Mays.
Um, I guess it's more of discussion, not like question. I mean, my only concern, I mean, not that I doubt that Val can't do it all. I was just worried, like, it might be a lot on Val's plate, also being, in multiple positions at once. I mean, I think they can definitely do it, but that's just one of my worries. Just voicing that out loud.
Right, yeah, thank you, Chair Mays. Any further questions? Advisor Miller?
I just want to impress upon all of you how important these different positions are, the different committees that represent the university, and particularly the best interest of students on campus. I really want to emphasize how important it is for you to have the privilege and the opportunity to serve on these committees, and that you should very, very seriously take into consideration, because if we don't fill them, and it's a reflection that the student body doesn't care, or can't take the time, dedication, and commitment to fill these different positions, they may eventually get eliminated because of the lack of participation by the student body, and particular University Student Congress, who gets first selection at these different committees. So please, please, not just for this individuals that are here today, but the individuals that are going to be joining Congress between now and when they start meeting in September, very seriously consider being on one or more of these committees. And I think, Vice President Baker, that you have three seats on the Senate, which is probably the most important of all these positions. Because you interact with faculty, you interact with administration, you have a really solid voice by being able to be on these committees. So please take it in serious, serious consideration. What is of interest to you? What represents you? And how can you be that really effective and efficient voice for the student body? Thanks.
All right, yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Advisor Miller. Any further questions on this University Senate General Body approval? Hearing none, any discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to new business item C. Um, Sorry about the lighting, y'all. I don't know why that's happening. Um, but I'm sorry. Anyway, moving on to new business item C, it's the approval of Speaker Fatete for University Senate Campus Development and Environment Committee. And there are a total of 3 seats for us to appoint to this committee. So that's presented by President Black.
Hello again. We are suggesting that the general body appoint the same person, Speaker Fatete, to this specific committee. It deals with, as the name would suggest, campus development and environmental concerns. A lot of STEM professors are involved in this committee, and it's a crucial one right now, specifically because uh, as updates on the data center project have come out bit by bit, they've generally gone through CDEC first. Major changes are brought to CDEC for approval before they're brought to the public. And Val has served on this committee within Senate for I don't know how many semesters now, and at the very least a while, and has been very enthusiastic in her involvement. And given that extra space that we're allotted, given that this is, I'm told, not the exclusive seat on CDEC to be occupied by a student, we think it would be worthwhile to facilitate the continuation of that work to essentially let Val go again. As mentioned before, they're not here. I wish they were. I wish they could speak to their qualifications better than I can. But all the same, that's all I've got in terms of a presentation.
All right. Thank you, President Black. The floor is open to any questions. Hearing none, any discussion? Legislator Obro?
Yeah, I think as like someone who has served on this committee like last year and somebody who has been like especially outspoken and like against the data center, I think Val would be a great candidate for the CETA committee.
All right. Thank you, Legislator Obra. Any further discussion? All right. Hearing none, we're going to move on to the old business. Starting with CB 6904, bill regarding the delegation of 2 seats on the Provost Student Advisory Council, presented by President Black.
Hello, this is me again. I believe I've now given the spiel about this twice. I don't feel compelled to give the full version again. We are, or have been, promised a certain number of seats on the Provost Student Advisory Council by Provost Amy Thompson. Autumn and I don't want to have a monopoly on how those seats are chosen, and we don't necessarily want to just take them for ourselves. So we want to leave it up to the discretion of the Director of Student Advocacy, at least officially. That's what this bill is. I haven't changed any of the wording since it was last presented. If there's questions or discussion, I can do my best to answer them.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, President Black. The floor is open to any questions. All right. Hearing none, is there any discussion? Or if anybody would like to be added as a supporter, now would be the time. All right. Um, Hearing none, we can't vote on this. We're just going to move on. Next is the approval of Anusha Tiwari for Director of Student Advocacy, presented by President Black once more.
This one, and this may sound strange, but you'll understand why I say it this way. This one is unfortunate for me to present because we cannot vote to approve Anusha today, as I had hoped, because Anusha, to my understanding, is now entering her second general body meeting as interim director of student advocacy. Interim directors, executive board members get, I believe, per the bylaws, 3 general body meetings before they need to be approved by the legislature. And I'll say it again, in her capacity as interim director of student advocacy, Anusha has done tremendous work, displayed a profound enthusiasm for the job, been very successful, and we're very happy to be working with her and excited to bring her onto the team in earnest once she can be approved. Anusha, if you have anything further to say on your own behalf, by all means, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for your kind word. I'm really happy to hear these, and I'm so glad that I joined this community and this student congress organization. I'm so happy to work here, and yes, I got it. Why can't I get vote today? And I can wait and do my best and contribute in the community.
All right, yeah, thank you, President Black and Interim Director Tiwari. The floor is open to any questions. Okay, hearing none, Anusha, I'm gonna have to put you in a waiting room for discussion.
Okay.
All right, the floor is open to any discussion.
I just really hope we can get quorum soon so that we can get Anusha on the team soon. This is making me so sad.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, thank you, President Black and Legislator Williams. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, I'm going to invite her back in here. Right. Next item on the agenda is the approval of Kamarti Ka-El for Director of Finance, once again presented by President Black. President Black?
Forgive me, I was just checking the list to see if Kamari was here and could speak for herself. It appears she's not.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
I will just echo the sentiment I did for Anusha, that it breaks my heart that not only is Kamari not here to speak for herself, but that we cannot vote to approve her today because she has done absolutely fantastic work as interim director of finance. She is the reason that you will all soon, hopefully, have individual personalized timesheets configured to the master timesheet that we've been using to log hours, which will be fantastic. And it is an innovation that is hers. It's all credit to Kamari on that. And we would love to continue working with her to bring her onto the team. Many of you heard her speak at the last GBM. The sense I got was that there was broad support correct me if I'm wrong in discussion about that, as always. But yeah, I can't really say much more about Kamari's qualifications because they really speak for themselves. And yeah, I guess that's all I've got.
Yeah, thank you, President Black. Any questions? Hearing none, any discussion? All right, hearing none, we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda, which is CB 6905, the Appendix 1, Article 1 Formatting Bill. Once again, presented by President Black.
Again, this one is definitely weightier. Uh, the main things that have changed, unless Autumn wants to step in with a point of information, are that as per a request at the last GBM, any substantial change, that is a change in the content of a a section of the bylaws rather than simply a wording change that doesn't affect the meaning, has been highlighted and specified. Although I'm looking in the agenda and the link to the bill links to rather a document with all the proposed changes, where
Oh,
I'm not seeing those comments.
point of information, forgive me, y'all. I think I can fix that right now.
Yes, the bill, it was mentioned last time that the bill in bill form was not complete to be presented, but that most of the changes were done. We do now have the bill in bill form. It just wasn't on the agenda. But if you look, once it is in the agenda, you'll see any changes in what a section of the bylaws means or could be interpreted as, rather than simply formatting and clarity stuff. You'll see those highlighted and explained in the most neutral terms we could manage.
Yeah, thank you, President Black. For the absolute maximum clarity that I can achieve, I will very briefly go over the changes in this bill. Point of information, uh, the substantive changes from biggest to smallest is in the AI policy. If this bill passes, it would change the AI policy from requiring two AI detection tools at a rating of at least 75% to requiring either an explanation uh, or an explanation of the reading of an AI detector or an account of how the legislation was created. That could be through version history or just through conversation. Um, and that change is being proposed because AI detectors are not very reliable, especially when quoting historical sources. Um, the next most substantive change is the names of different sections of the bylaws have just been slightly adjusted from, for example, from section heading to section because I've never heard somebody say section heading. Um, and the hyphenation and the capitalization of these has been standardized a little bit. Next most substantive is that the SAFD bylaws would be changed to not be subject to our formatting policy. And that's because in real life they are formatted under a completely different system. And the next most substantive change is that uh, only physical documents, if the bill passes, only physical documents would be subject to a minimum font size. Um, and that's because digital formats, you can zoom in. So it's not an accessibility issue to have small font. Um, and then after that, it is the recommendations for how the Judiciary Committee and the general body would carry out um, the most serious of consequences, which would be removal from office. But they're completely not binding. It's just a recommendation, and the committee can do truly whatever they would like to do according to their own bylaws, which is under a different section. And everything else is just reorganized. So the floor is open to any questions. Hearing none, the floor is open to any discussion. Legislator Rosario?
I just want to say I think these changes sound great, but especially the AI version history one. I think that one's my favorite. That's all I
Thank
have
you,
to say.
Legislator Rosario. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, we're going to move on to the approval of Yasmin Tabs for the SAFB Director of Marketing. We have neither Chair Bassett nor Interim Director Tabs here for this. So is there a motion to table this item? I can't make a motion, but we also don't have anybody to present this.
Motion to table.
All right, thank you, Chair Mays. As motion moved by Chair Mays,
A second.
supported by Legislator Obra. So that item is tabled indefinitely. Moving on, any discussion? General discussion? All right, hearing none, we're going to go into the legislative updates. Of course, none from our speaker. Any updates from legislative leadership? Chair Mays, Chair Lunger, Majority Leader Perez.
I have been working on sustainability initiatives with Director Heeman, and I have been, I've also been collaborating with PCO, planning events, and I've also been working you know, uh, with Director Vela on the sustainability on the Heritage Site event.
All right, thank you, Chair Lunger. Um, sorry, Director Velo, you're not eligible for legislative leadership update. Um,
I've been a
any
little.
updates? Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I've been
Go
a
ahead,
little
Chair Mays.
preoccupied the past few weeks. Um, I got the agenda done somehow. That's about it.
All right, thank you, Chair Mays. Great. So we'll move on to any updates related to legislative projects and initiatives. So that could be any legislator, any voting member. All right, hearing none. Any questions related to legislative reports? Director Vela.
Yeah, so Chair Lunger, I was going to ask, have you asked PCO about which date would be good for the Native American Heritage Site event?
Yes, I haven't heard from them. I'll reach out again. We're gonna be meeting at the organic farm on Sunday, July 5th. So I'll ask them there or I'll text them again.
All right, that would be awesome. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Director Vela. Any further questions? All right, hearing none. Any liaison reports?
Yes, PCO is having a student organic farm event. We're gonna be weeding and picking berries. It's gonna be on Sunday, July 5th from 1 to 3 p.m. So if anyone from OUSC would like to attend, feel free.
All right. Thank you, Chair Lunger. Any further liaison reports? Okay. Hearing none, we're going to move into executive reports, starting with President Black.
Hello, everyone. These last couple weeks, the time between this last GPM and this one have really been a blur. I'm sure Vice President Baker will have more to say about this in her Vice President's report, so I don't want to steal her thunder. But the Board of Trustees meeting on the 26th did see the trustees approve the P37 adjacent location for the proposed data center and more broadly allow the project to move forward. I was there at that meeting with some folks from Student Congress and unaffiliated students and far more local community members than we expected, but that was truly a blessing. We got to speak to many more people about Student Congress's sustainability initiative here and the stance that we've taken against the data center. And it really seems like the general public outside of OU or within the orbit of OU is starting to pick up on this as a pressing local issue, which of course it is. And I think that is a success for Student Congress since we do try to involve the local community and help the local community in whatever way we can. Outside of that, we've been working closely with SAFB Chair Bassett about the future of that organization. And outside of that, it's been a lot of business as usual. We've been doing
It's fucking crazy.
refills of the vending machine products and handing out merchandise and emailing and talking to people. I haven't been able to work much in the past couple weeks, and specifically this week, just because of personal constraints. But life goes on. With that, unless I remember far too late some major thing I forgot, I will let Autumn pick up where I left off.
All right. Thank you, President Black. Next is the Vice President's report from yours truly. It's true, Director Villa, your mic was on. Um, so let me pull up my notes. So first, it's absolutely true. The Board of Trustees did approve, specifically they approved the P37 adjacent location for the data center, and by doing so, they also approved project lead Stephen Mackey and the rest of the staff working on the proposal to move forward with the um, I'm not exactly sure if it's due diligence or design, but it's some combination of those two things. Um, and despite it being a summer meeting at 10 a.m. on a Friday, there were a huge amount of people there. I mean, there were too many people there at times for them to all be inside, which is about 200 people total. Um, and That's not counting the board and the staff and the various media that were there. I believe it was about 200 student, staff, faculty, and outside community members. Welcome,
Point of
Legislator Martina.
point of information, the seating capacity was 250, and we were told that it was at or above capacity at a few points.
Yes. And I mean, this makes sense to me. In recent weeks, we have seen both an extension of Pontiac's data center moratorium, and I'm not sure if it's an extension or um, a renewal or a brand new data center moratorium, but it's one of those things from Rochester City Council. Um, However, that's not binding on OU campus because it's state-owned land. Um, but the same constituents that are represented by those two pieces of legislation um, are getting involved in other ways as well, evidently. Um, in other news, in more close to home OUSC news, I've been working with Director Heeman on the placement and the particular processes by which we will make the returnable containers um, and the battery receptacles available to students. Um, currently, the thought is to have battery receptacles in the housing buildings, and the somewhat more serious damaged battery receptacle, I believe, is intended to be in the OUSC office itself, so that Director Heeman can keep a closer eye on it. So that's very exciting. Um, the printer in the office is doing kind of okay. Um, we have not been able to resolve the issue with tray two. Um, I hear that some people have been struggling with the bypass. Although I can't speak to that, I haven't printed anything through the bypass recently. Um, but as far as I'm aware, that tray three is your best bet for now. Um, and we do have toner again. Thank you, Advisor Miller. Um, Additionally, I've been doing some research and some outreach regarding electric vehicle chargers on campus. Specifically, I think it'd be really interesting if we could get more level one chargers. I think as I understand it, Student Congress could easily afford to double the amount of chargers on campus if we just make them slow chargers. And also, as I understand it, slow chargers would be perfectly suitable for many, even a majority of students, including commuters. Um, so if anybody's interested in that initiative, if anybody wants to contribute or suggest some placement or some particular hardware or anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. Um, some other work that I've been doing was rescheduling GBM to 6 p.m. so that we could hopefully have better access and better attendance for most of us. Um, Remains to be seen how that's going. I'm not entirely sure. It's hard to say who is absent because it's 6 p.m. on a Thursday and who is absent because of the holiday and who is absent for work or family or other things. Um, but if anybody has any input on that, please let us know. Um, In other news, I've been working on scheduling an executive meeting. It looks like we're going to have an executive meeting on the evening of either the 9th, the 11th, or the 12th. And that would be meeting of the president, myself, the speaker, the SAFB chair, Advisor Miller, and all of our directors. Um, so, agenda in the pipeline, particular meeting time in the pipeline, and of course, after that happens, I will give a report at the next GBM. In the past 2 weeks, I've done a bunch of office tours. I've done a bunch of giveaways, outreach. Um, for example, the non-perishable snacks that we have in the office, as far as I know, have been going over well with everybody who has been eating them. and I think that's great. If anybody wants a non-perishable office snack that we don't have right now, then feel free to let us know. We got the OUSC branded first aid kits delivered, which is very exciting. We ordered 200 of them, and we've already given away a whole lot. And there have already been a whole lot taken out of the free vending machine, which is awesome. It appears that they're sorely needed around campus between the rec, veteran student support, various housing buildings, and OSI / the food pantry all graciously accepted some first aid kits, which makes me happy. Um, and I think it might be necessary for us to order some more soon. Um, I'm going to revisit interim director Carl for finance. Is doing an amazing job. Is working very hard. Is very busy with other on-campus work, but regardless, she plans to have the individual timesheets ready for everyone to use um, by sometime between Friday the 10th and Monday the 13th, which is very exciting. And then, of course, once those are finalized, then it will be much easier to create them for fall and winter. I imagine we should have them immediately at the start of fall. Um, I believe that noise was Interim Director Tiwari leaving. But I'm not sure if something happened to the meeting. I don't know what it is. Then somebody please speak up and let me know. Um, And the last thing I have is that the free vending machine is out of fentanyl testing strips, which is a really important resource that for people who need that, it's really difficult for them to, for example, come into the OUSC office and say, I want a fentanyl testing strip. So I really hope that we can get some soon. Planning to work with Graham Health Center if we can, because even if Graham Health Center can't supply them directly to us, I'm sure that they have a wonderful source for us to reach and get them from. So I'll be working on that as quickly as I can to make that available to all of our community members. Um, and I believe that is going to conclude my VP report. So moving on, are there any other executive board reports? All right, hearing none, are there any questions related to mine or President Black's reports?
I would be interested in picking up a few first aid kits because, well, I work at a summer camp and people get hurt all the time, so I might need a few.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. They're in the office. If there's somewhere else that's convenient for you to get them, then I will happily put them there on Monday. Um, but they're in the right now they're in the I call it the vending machine wall. It's very close to what is changing from the president's office to the conference room at the very back of the office. It's just on the right, and there's a bunch of just on the right, and there's a bunch of bins in cubbies. The first aid kits is in one of those bins. It's labeled.
Okay,
Um,
thank you.
yeah, absolutely. And if there's somewhere else that I can leave them or meet you and give you a few first aid kits, just feel free to let me know. Um, any further questions? All right, hearing none. Next is the advisor's report from Advisor Miller.
I don't really have a report, but I do want to ask if you want me to contact the copying machine to do a service check to fix some of the problems that are happening that you're experiencing over there. We can call them in to see how they can fix it or replace parts in case they need replacing. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, we did put in a ticket for the feed issue, which as I understand the feed issue is the only issue. It's just spreading between different trays. Um, so we did put in a ticket, and
But did you do a ticket to not to UTS because they don't handle it? Conoco handles the service calls.
okay, yeah. If you know what to do, that would be super helpful. I'm certainly not going to object.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Advisor Miller. Any comments from the gallery? I think technically the gallery is just Tuba. Okay. Hearing none, any announcements?
I'd like to announce thank you all for sticking around. We love all of you. We appreciate all the work that you do. And we hope that at the next meeting, we'll be able to get some of these approvals finalized, some of this legislation passed. And in the meantime, please just take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there. It's been so hot here in beautiful St. John's, Michigan, that I've barely been able to go outside. Please stay cool as best you can. And we look forward to seeing you again soon.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, President Black. I was basically going to say that, but you covered it perfectly from where I'm sitting. Any further announcements?
Next meeting's in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. And unless we call a special meeting, the next GBM will be in 2 weeks. Yes.
I will not be able to make it. I will be unavailable full day next 2 weeks, not work related, medical and like family related.
Okay. Yeah, that's totally understandable. I hope everything works out okay. Um, any further announcements? All right. Hearing none, we're going to move on to the item titled adjournment. And I'm going to wait for a motion.
I motion to adjourn.
Moved by
Second.
Legislator Obrah, supported by Chair Mays. With no opposition, that motion carries, and this meeting is adjourned at 7:18 p.m. Bang, bang. Um, Once again, thank you, everybody. I know GBM has been rough lately. I appreciate everybody sticking with us. I promise I'm doing everything that I can to try and improve attendance and improve access. Um, and if anybody has any ideas, please let me know. I would love to hear any ideas for how we can make these meetings more accessible. All right. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Happy Independence Day.
Yeah. Yeah, you too, DJ.
Oh, yes, to anyone celebrating, be mindful of where your fireworks are going and the creatures that will be affected by them.
True.
Mm.
Have a great night.
Thank you, you too.
Yeah, you too. Okay. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.